Hello. Welcome to church. We took a week off because I was extremely tired last week. But we're back with Where the Water Tastes Like Wine, which is, I was just thinking about it, like, could not have been a better first game for us to do for this show. I've been really loving it, particularly the soundtrack and the voice acting are truly phenomenal. This is a show that I put together basically because I wanted an excuse to play through my backlog of like narrative games that I had not played yet. This puts me on a schedule to do those. So we are this guy who is traveling the U.S. because he got cursed by a wolfman to wander and collect stories, and we will collect stories until he is satisfied. You wait in this soup line for over an hour. It's barely crawling along. You round the corner of the building and see, far away, a lone pair of nurses struggling to ladle out soup to hundreds. Gonna be waiting here a while longer, sighs the mother in line beside you. Look at how angry that baby is. Incredible. You and her get talking. After a while, the topic drifts to a strange place, and she starts telling you about the water that turned into wine for the thirsty pickers. You recognize it as a story about the thirsty cotton pickers, but way more outrageous than your version. We gave them that water. You tell her your version. That's not as exciting, she says diplomatically. I mean, it sure sounds realer than what I heard. But I think Toby likes mine best. She bounces her child encouragingly on her hip, but Toby's too hungry to smile. What's our plan for today? Let's see, we got a guy. No, that's not a guy. Oh. Oh, we were going to go... No, we've already been up here. Let's see. Yeah, let's go talk to our friends down here. So we're going to go southwest. I'm going to try to... Oh, hey, look at that. Little house over here. Need some cash? A man asks. He just moved in down the street, needs help carrying boxes from the curb into the house. Threw my back out this morning, he sighs. Lift with your legs, that's my tip. You take his advice, and he pays you well. To my knowledge, we don't have like a counter of how much money we have. We have like either no money, some money, or a lot of money. From what I've seen. Which is an interesting way to do it. That's also a really great way to do like tabletop role-playing games. If you're not wanting to do like a whole bunch of math and stuff, here's my hot DM tip: is to just change amounts of money into a little bit, a lot, or enough. Enough being the largest amount. Once your party gets to a certain point, they have enough money to do, you know, what they're trying to do.
First, Ma and Pa wanted me and Paul on the front lines. They wanted someone to be proud of, and I did as they asked. Then the government wanted me to take an IOU, and I did. When there were no more jobs, I, along with thousands of others like me, went and asked Hoover to pay up. General MacArthur was so scared of us, he brought in goddamn tanks to keep us from tearing apart DC. Tell me a happy story. Something to make the world seem kind.
Okay, happy story. Probably not this one. Let's see. He wants a hopeful story. Got the Immortal Seagulls. That might do it. I don't remember the Immortal Seagulls. It's been a minute, guys. Who's Cassidy? I don't remember. I mean, he's one of our main characters, but I don't really remember his story. Well, this guy's obviously a guy that got royally screwed by the government. I don't remember Cassidy. Molasses Man might be helpful. Quinn's Adventures seem to be a wild card. Maybe Casey Jones. Casey Jones is a hopeful story, right? One thing that I find interesting is that some of these stories are things that like happen to us, and other ones are stories that we've just heard about. And some of them are ones that we like influence. And I don't know how that would be different in a different playthrough. I think this one's good.
Got nightmares enough without hearing that kind of horror.
Oops. That's not the story that I thought it was.
I've already seen it. It's a little clean for my taste, but since Paul's there, you won't hear me complaining.
Oops. Hopeful. I don't know, man. Try Robin Hood.
And that's what you think when you think of tragedy. Huh.
Did he ask us for a different thing? Damn it, I was still trying to do hopeful.
Making choices. Well, morals ain't important to the bosses, and not to me, and not to the war. They ain't doing anyone any good anymore. Do you know any happy stories? Hopeful ones?
I hecked up that one. Hopeful stories. The White Deer. Sure.
I don't mean to be rude, but cities don't understand what real tragedy is. Freedom. Not many of us are free from suffering. Well, war's doing the opposite of stopping that. So anyway, tell me a funny story? You seem like you know a few good ones.
Feuding Architects. I don't think it was funny. A couple parted by unemployment is probably not it, guys. A funny story. Maybe the Feuding Architects.
I don't mean to be rude. Future? When I was young, I worried about the future. But now, running all on autopilot and fumes, I've got no control over it.
We've done bad on this one, guys.
Tell me a happy story. I like that one.
There we go.
There's some hope left for you too, you know. Don't give it away too.
It's a whippoorwill watching for death. There's a whippoorwill hanging out on a power line, waiting for someone to die, and then they did.
My family won't look at me anymore. They only see Paul. I cannot put them through that every day just for my sake. The night's over soon. I should be leaving. The road takes me this way next. Where's it taking you? I wish there was a road I could take home. Home, as I knew it. To my sister Jessie, and all of them before the war. But there ain't. It's something I think the road is helping me to understand.
What is this white circle? What are you? We had some frame drops there. This bar is crowded with people from every walk of life. Businessmen, young men in muddy overalls, and a crowd of girls in slinky dresses, preparing their blood alcohol content for a night on the town. But it's the squat, sharp-eyed man in the fedora who catches your attention. He launches into a wild story about the grifter who pretends to be a reporter to cage free drinks. Halfway through, he stops, recognizing the look on your face. You know this one? You tell him a story about the newspaper reporter who skipped out on his bill. That's it? I think I like mine more. So that's why I'll keep telling it my way, he says. Let's get another round and do a competitive test on the other folks here, shall we? By the end of the night, the whole bar agrees. The new version is better. Might be because your new friend bought them all drinks. Not expecting that man to be a friend based on his introduction. TBH. Yeah, it's all the same song. That's one of the things I really like about this game is that they definitely, really intentionally used Vagrant's song in myriad of different ways, representing different characters and different parts and time frames of U.S. history. It's really, really cool.
The plants grow and blossom as you watch. The man goes down the line, applying a few drops from a vial as he goes. As the liquid soaks in, each plant pushes up from the soil, unfolding and stretching for the sky.
It's miraculous.
He turns to you. It's quite something, isn't it? Soy here strangles the crops. People are starving. But even when the plants survive, they don't grow fast enough to fill people's bellies. He smiles. My miracle formula will change that. He shakes his head. I'm not giving up my secrets that easily. The state will pay a lot of money for this. He shakes the vial. He tears off a leaf. Here, try some. It's just bitter at first. But as you swallow, the fibrous mass burns in your throat. You fight to hold it down, and your stomach knots tight when the plant matter hits it. You cough and hiccup. The man looks at you, curious. What do you think?
I think it tastes like unwashed death is the funniest thing to say here.
He waves a hand. Well, yes, there are some kinks to work out, but people are starving. They can't be fussy. Won't be long before no one around here goes hungry again. Your stomach protests. You feel like you'll be hungry again very soon indeed.
The dubious but promising miracle growth formula. Dubious but promising is what they called me in high school. Lol.
You seem an alright sort, stranger. But there are some real bums out there, and I ain't talking about folks who are down on their luck.
Young man, are you well?
Got myself run off from a nice spot I done set all up a few miles back for winter. Ain't the first time I've been run off. Let me tell you about the bunch of Judases what raised me. I was oldest, had a brother and a baby sister. The farm was small, but it weren't sad and all full of ruination in the early days. But I suppose my ma and pa couldn't make a go of it. When things started getting depressed and tight, every damn thing started to fall to pieces. First, they stole from us, money we'd been saving or earned, things they could sell. Then they abandoned my brother, letting him die instead of calling a doctor. Then they sent me on my way, saying they couldn't provide no more, that I was too big for them to keep. I want to hear one of them venturing tales. Got any?
So, venturing tales. This is a love story. Maybe the Spectral Riders. He's wanting an adventuresome tale, a thrilling tale. But not scary. I bet this one does it. We'll see, but I bet that one does it. We'll look a little bit more.
Ain't life got enough tearjerkers in it without telling stories like that? Jeez.
Oh, that one was sad. That one's a sad story.
Well, talking of choices, I don't rightly know what I could have done different. Run away sooner. Maybe if I did, they could have paid for the doctor. Hey, tell me one of those exciting stories.
Another thrilling.
Whoa, quite a story, stranger.
Yes.
Brings to mind my home. Grew up riverside, North Louisiana. Not the Mississippi, mind. One of its tributes. When I think happy thoughts about that old house, I think about the river, 50 yards back from the porch.
Tributes, not tributaries.
I think about the muddy bank and how it felt to have your feet sink into that particular kind of muck. I think how that straight new river road they put in reoriented the farm. Front became the back, and we turned our backs on the river. You got any stories that are a little sad?
Who, boy, do I have some sad stories.
Shoot, I ain't teared up. Just got something in my eyes, all.
Uh-huh.
Love? Well, I love these dogs.
Do you? Young man, how many hands do you have?
Took Cass with me when I left. She was the family dog for that, though me and my brother were always the ones what really looked after her. Figured they'd starve her or eat her at the first chance they got, so I didn't ask permission, just got myself ready for a fight. But they didn't try and stop me. Hey, do you got any really thrilling stories to tell? I'm hankering for one of those. Were you trying to scare me? Well, you didn't go far
Scary
enough.
story, not thrilling.
You talk about fate. I wonder sometimes if what was in them is in me too. That thing.
Oh, I don't know. It might be. Buddy.
That thing. Whatever it was that made my parents no good for people.
That thing might be in you.
I want to hear one of them venturing tales. Got any?
Venturesome.
Well, that was something. You spin a good yarn. Freedom. Will I ever be free, stranger? Is there even such a thing anymore? That train whistle means venture, new sights, more life. But prison comes in different shapes, don't it? I think I finally understand that now. Well, night's over. Didn't understand all your stories, but I'd hear more if I see you again on my travels. Look, I didn't mean to drag you down with my stories of misery and suffering or whatever, but you're a good listener. That's rare in a person, you know. But round you, I feel safe to tell the truth. Look, I'm heading up the road this way. Where are you going? I hope our roads cross again, friend.
Wasn't there a city? No, okay, too far. I'm just wandering now. I don't really have a plan. I see a campfire over the way. So, do all of the travelers have demons inside them? What do we think? Or is it just Quinn? We've seen this story a billion times before. Old Barney the Scarecrow. Yeah, that's just like a grow the story event. That's just going to happen every time we see that gas station.
Here you are again. How's the journey treating you?
Oh, we continue our
Still heading back
progress
to
from last time.
My sister Jessie won't take me back, wish she would. Wish it was her I was going back to. She doesn't understand. Almost nobody does. If they did, it would have given us something real for what we suffered. Tell me a happy story. Something to make the world seem kind.
I might not have enough happy stories for this man. Every time I see shiftless father, I'm like, shirtless father? Hopeful story. Sammy, no!
I like that one. There's some hope left for you too, you know. Don't give it away too quickly. When the memories swirl, I find joy again. Between the trenches, I catch a glimpse of Paul before he was gone. And the time before that, well, that was joy to me. So anyway, tell me a funny story? You seem like you know a few good ones.
I think that's the closest thing I got to a funny story.
Yeah, Paul would have liked that one.
I did it.
Making choices. Well, morals ain't important to the bosses, and not to me, and not to the war. They ain't doing anyone any good anymore. Know any good jokes? I'm not so good at telling them anymore.
A funny story. I'm out of funny stories. I don't want to use a wild card here.
Wish I could tell that one to my sister. But faith. The time for faith is long past, my friend. Do you know any happy stories? Hopeful ones?
Shit.
I'm not really scared of that stuff anymore. Sorry. Heaven. I've already seen it. It's a little clean for my taste, but since Paul's there, you won't hear me complain. Got nightmares enough without hearing that kind of horror. The government's not much when it don't provide. It's just empty promises and broken beliefs, broken hopes, faraway bullets. Well, morning's come. The road takes me this way next. Wish it were taking me home. The family always did like Paul more anyhow. Loyalty to him is the only loyalty I don't regret. Even the other soldiers of the bonus army. They have families to go back to. I got my sister Jessie, and she's not letting her gimp brother home anytime soon.
Yeah, new chapter. Got no companion except the wind and the sea. Okay, I think I'm making a plan here. And then I'm going to go, come down here, grab all, this is a big chunk of stories that I've missed here. Then I'm going to go talk to Quinn again. So first I'm going west and north just a little bit. Yeah, that lake's up here, so I'm going mostly west and a little bit north. What is that? Oh, that's this guy up here on the other side of the river. I love this version of Vagrant Song. And it's gone. I don't dislike any of the versions though, so it's like fine. Where's this story? I'm right on top of it. You guys see it? Ooh, thank you for the subscription. There's a story right here that we just like walked directly over. I guess I'm going to go directly south to go find those things there, though. Oh, was that 10 months, Ian? It was. Thanks, buddy. I'm going to skip over Quinn a little bit. On that, for the rest of the year, when you guys subscribe, we get that money. We've paid off our, like, there's a certain amount that Twitch is just going to get. Now we get the majority of any subscriptions. We have already profited a decent bit. Profited. Like, this is a hobby that we paid way more into than we are ever going to get out of it. Unless something weird happens, but... we've got a decent fund going for, like, somebody's webcam breaks, we can replace it or something. Here's that gas station grow the story again. It's telling him about the seagull spirits who watched over a town for generations. You try to hide your surprise. It's the story of the immortal seagulls. The version the girl must have heard is embellished, to say the least, but hey, it's a good story. Look at all these stories here.
A woman waits while a man in a truck fills 2 of her buckets with scoops of whitish powder from a bin. She sees you staring. Want to make some cash? She calls.
Is this cocaine?
She takes you up the drive to her farmhouse, where her son and daughter are mixing something in a metal barrel. Locust bait, she says. Poison? The town bought enough for everyone, but we gotta mix it ourselves. She'll pay you to help.
It's gonna explode.
You use a broom handle to mix the poison with bran. The teens watch from the porch, faces frozen in distrustful scowls. Their mother pays you well, but later in the day you feel lightheaded, tingling pins and needles all over. You feel only a little better after you vomit.
Yeah. It'll happen when you breathe in poison.
The girl tilts her basket away to hide whatever's inside. You want to see what I got? I'm not telling. She raises her eyebrows, encouraging you to pry further. This girl is either very confident or too young to know shyness.
This is the way.
Oh, you're not being fun. It's really worth seeing. She twists her lips to one side, mimicking a more adult, thoughtful gesture. Tell you what, I'll show you what's in the basket if you do something for me.
See, like this, we're going to influence the way this story goes. I don't know how that, like... I don't know. I'm going to do her a favor.
Excellent. I want you to kill my mother. She looks to check if you're paying attention, then points to a figure working at the other end of the field. She's boring. She keeps making me work when I want to play.
Yeah.
The girl bursts into peals of laughter. She doubles over the basket, laughing so hard she's barely able to stand. When she can speak again, she says, "You should have seen your face. You really should." She beckons you over, shows you her basket. 3 kittens snuggle up at the bottom. They're barely old enough to open their eyes. Ma gave them to me for being good. I've called them Badb, Matcha, and Anand, after a story Nana told me. She preens. I'm very clever, you know.
Badb. Badb is a hell of a name.
Just a moment there, he says, shaking your hand. I'm Paul Dalhart from the Republican Herald. You may have heard of it. Syndicated in 6 counties.
This is the man.
Well, no matter. But listen, you may have noticed a vocal few out there. I call them naysayers, who throw up their hands and fly the white flag as soon as life gets a little tough. But wouldn't you agree that it's never been a better time to live and do business in this country?
Nope.
Ha! Pessimism, negativity, faint-heartedness. He claps his notebook shut. If there is to be an end to the great American experiment, it'll be your attitude that writes it, not mine.
Different man. I thought that was the guy with the drinks. I thought that said kinky. This kinky old man sharing the shade under the bridge with you tells a few rambling stories. Some true seeming, some conspicuously less so. All true, he assures you. There's history in this place going all the way back to Indian times. Strange stuff happens around here. Can't all be true. Sure it is, he scoffs. And then, as if to prove himself right, he launches into a story about the man who had to travel 600 miles to find a single job. And this one you know. It's the story of the couple parted by unemployment, but wilder and stranger than you remember. I know that one. See then, the old man laughs. So I ain't pulling your leg. It's all true. It's as true as I am kinky. I wish I hadn't said that.
There's a truck parked here. The driver mistakes your look for curiosity. You want to see something interesting? He asks, pointing to the trunk. He opens it. There's hundreds of metal tubes with little numbered screw-on caps sorted in wooden racks. We've been surveying, he said. It's my job to study soil health. The trunk has a map taped to it, marked with numbered dots. I can show you the one from your hometown if you see it here.
It's not on the map.
It's an official-looking map, but the state borders and rivers are wrong. Half your county is missing. The surveyor offers you a coin for directions to your hometown, but his notes are funhouse mirror English writing. Fascinating, he murmurs. We learn so much from you folks.
That dude's not from here. I'm in the mountain. Oh, I'm sleeps. These men lean against the wall of this hardware store, smoking and chatting. They wave you over. You heard this one before? They launch into a group recitation of the cursed fortune teller flaying the bargain she made long ago, interrupting one another in their excitement to tell it. You recognize the story. It's the story of the fortune teller whose dark past stained the souls of all her clients. Someone's added to it in the meantime, though. What do you think? One of the men asks one of the men, eyes bright. You think that really happened? Of course. Well, I'm not sure myself, he replies, but damn, it sounds wild. That's the story of Liliana Vess from Magic the Gathering. Kind of.
Stacks of suitcases grind the parked Model A deeper into the dirt. An extended family inside defies the carrying capacity of the vehicle. The driver leans out the window. Want this? He swings a violin around by its neck. 10 bits. We need it for gas. You hear a muffled pounding from somewhere within the car. $6 bits, then. We need it for gas. The pounding becomes frantic.
Should we buy this obviously stolen violin? No, obviously, Ian, obviously I know that. But, like, for the game. Okay.
The back door breaks open, and a girl crawls over the laps of dusty bodies. Don't you dare! That belongs to Louise Ames! She shouts at you. Louise Ames! She's dragged back into the writhing nest of limbs, and the door slams shut. On your way, the driver tells you. You go.
Where's that city? Right there. Okay. Was there something else in Louisville? Definitely. Okay. I'm gonna take a nap and eat a food here. Do some exploring. I'm going to grab a coffee. I'm gonna grab a Reuben. I'm going to.
The corridors of Cincinnati's music hall reverberate with the sounds of an orchestra warming up for rehearsal.
If we unbolt the light rig, we can crush them,
says a voice up ahead. No, another answers. Hiding Baldy's baton will be sufficient to stop the din. The tuxedoed men are slightly transparent. Mustachio on the right has his arms folded. The weaselly one on the left scowls. They start at your arrival.
I'm gonna undo those bolts.
Weasel feature vanishes into thin air.
Damn it all,
says the other man.
So we just talk to these ghosts like they're normal people, right? That's the way.
We used to be members of the orchestra until, well, you know. Patrick doesn't care for the new blood. It seems like talent died with us. So he does his damnedest to stop them playing. But I can't allow violence against fellow artists. Help me stop him. With the right tool, you can banish them from the hall. You see, no spirit can stand the sound of the purest of all instruments.
Should have bought that fucking violin.
No. 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 He shakes his head, exasperated. No! The triangle. The orchestra has one, but the percussionist's a sop. He never hits it right. If you can get there, you can ensure the only thing brutalized here today is Chopin.
No. No. No.
The orchestra is midway through practice. They're in dire need of it. The percussionist dozes on his stool. Everyone's oblivious to the muttering from the lighting rig. You sprint down the aisle and elbow through the incensed musicians. The percussionist falls off his stool as you clamber over his xylophone. You grab the beater and bring it down onto the triangle, eliciting a pure, resounding note. And the rafters ring with laughter. The mustachioed ghost appears next to you, doubled over, invisible to the furious orchestra. I never thought you'd fall for that. The triangle, for God's sake. Thanks for shutting them up, though.
I'm glad we have another funny story. Thank God. Who yet can use a sewing machine? Shouts the foreman. You can mend holes with a needle and thread, but you haven't lived in the same house as a sewing machine in years. I don't raise my hand. You know, much like the idea of walking through those heavy doors into the power of those cruel-eyed folks under the burden of a lie. You stay silent. They take in a few more workers for hauling and lifting, but that's the end of it. No work today. Damn. Scroll. Bare bones. It's the soup line again with the angry baby. About the bus, which only lost souls can see.
When everything has left you, all that remains is a peculiar peace.
It's bad.
It's hard to keep it, especially considering the panic that comes on sometimes. Sometimes when it's hard to breathe. Truthfully, the light being gone is bad enough, but the way people look at you, that's when I miss being whole the most.
His eye blinks.
Do you know any happy stories, hopeful ones? For a moment there, just a moment, I felt better about it all too. They say that God has unconditional love. I don't doubt it. But my love for him is not. Tell me a happy story. Something to make the... I like that one. There's some hope left for you too, you know. Don't give it away too quickly. Joy is a clean garden, a clean life, with my favorite plants all grown together proudly. I'm not sure that I'm capable of enjoying people anymore, but the plants are good company.
It looks like the characters are all wild cards, not just
Happy story.
not just Quinn.
Something to make the world seem kind. That can't be true. That sounds like a Navy tale. Freedom? It'll come. In time, I think. I think one day the government will give me back the freedom they took from me. They squandered my loyalty, my life, and my family. But one day, I think I'll see that cash back from them.
You super won't, my dude.
Call it a daydream. But I'm willing to try. Do you know any happy stories? Hopeful ones? I like that one. There's some hope left for you too, you know. Don't give it away too quickly. It's churning. I can't say I regret what I did, picking my lame ass up and going to Yale and DC. I didn't get paid, but I got their attention, if even for a little bit. I got to mock some tanks, just like I used to across the pond. Traveling back to Oregon, well, it's a little worrisome, but it ain't so bad. As long as I can walk and keep myself at ease, well, I feel a little free. Tell me a happy story.
God, please. Ask for any other kind of story.
For a moment there. Just a moment. I felt better
It's
about it all, too.
it's all wild cards now. I don't have any more stories for this man.
Luck? I don't know how to think about that anymore. When did my luck run out? How many other men got scratches from that rusty barbed wire? How many yards of wire on how many deadly fields led to the scratch on my leg? The one that took my own body from me. That made me a burden.
Oh, so he didn't even get his leg shot. He scratched it on some barbed wire and got infected. That's rough, buddy.
The night's over. I should be getting ready to go. I'm headed up this way next. The journey's long, but it's not cruel.
He's getting close to home.
There's cruel people in the world, but the road and the mud don't mean anyone any harm. The little flowers in the ditches don't. Look for me, maybe. Perhaps we'll see each other again.
I thought I was going to talk to... Okay, he's west. Where's west? Okay. Another story. Another story. It's the soup line again. The bear that preys on travelers. He eats the rich. Love a bear that eats the rich. Starts telling me about the regiment of time-lost souls recruiting travelers to battle on Boston streets. Haven't heard that one in a while. Let's see. Oh, I thought he was better for a minute.
It's good to see you. I've been missing our talk since you and I last split. Been thinking how my family Judased me and how they did wrong by my little brother. Worrying there was maybe something else I could have done. Here, sit with me. I want someone to talk with about all this. Though I love them dearly, my dogs ain't such good talkers. Hey, tell me a funny story. You seem like you still got a sense of... Ain't life got enough tearjerkers in it without telling stories like that? Jeez.
Oh, that story was about a guy that trained his apprentice, and then the apprentice opened up a new shop and started putting him out of business.
The future's slippery, I'll admit, stranger. I don't rightly know what the future's got in store for me. I make my way just fine presently, but I'm only getting older, and I fear folk will have less kindness for me as I do. Is there gonna be a good place for me somewhere in all this wilderness? You got any stories that are a little sad?
I do have some stories that are a little sad. I'm gonna check. I've got family here. I think the man that seems alright with death is probably fine. But... sadness. This is in the sadness tab. Surely.
I don't usually like the sad ones, but that sure was beautiful. Thank you. Puts me in a sad mood. I think the thing that eats at me most, more than my brother being left alone on his deathbed, folk do get sick and die after all. More than being betrayed myself, I reckon I done all right on my own, is that my baby sister got left behind. Those Judases still have her. don't know what idea turns my stomach more. That in the end they betrayed her too, or that she got a normal life. That they're all happy together and she has no idea what the cost was. I want to hear a story about ghosts or murderers or something. Scary stuff.
Oh, thank God. I got ghosts and murderers. Oh, shit.
Wow, that's the stuff, stranger. Spooky campfire tales are my favorite.
His eye is opened.
Authority. When I really think on it, I reckon my folks started out with the best intentions. Wanted to give their kids a good life, a good home, but they failed. And it wasn't them who paid the price. Isn't that just what authority means? You don't suffer for the decisions you make. Someone else does. I want a story that scares me. Now I'm older, almost nobody can do it. Give me your best shot. You spin a good yarn. I was shivering there for a little bit. I'll tell you about death.
Yes, do tell me about death. Strange, formless void with too many hands.
My brother, my little 7-year-old brother, slowly dying as they shouted back and forth about what to do, about money and hope and the Lord's protection. White as a ghost he was, and in terrible pain. Appendicitis ain't no easy way to die, stranger. I close my eyes and I can still see his little face, hurting and confused and praying for a miracle. How can I ever move on from that? Can't run from your own memories, though I surely have tried. I want to hear one of them venturing tales. Got any? Whoa, quite a story, stranger. You talk about fate. I wonder sometimes if what was in them is in me too. That thing. That thing. Whatever it was that made my parents no good for people. My oh my, stranger. Listen to me blubbering on about my woes. I reckon it's something about you what brings it out of folks. You're searching for something great, something holy, aren't you? But you don't figure you're gonna find it. And you wonder if it can't be found at all, or if it's just you that can't find it. Really eats at you, don't it? I can see it in you. Anyway, I best be getting on. I think I'll see what's happening up the road. Take care of yourself, stranger.
Quinn's story is complete. I got no money. I'm looking northeast. That's him again. I'm not ready for him again. I'm going to go south. Trickster spirit who survives in the modern world by pretending to be a journalist. You recognize the bones of it from your experience of the grifter who pretends to be a reporter to cage-free drinks. It's been embellished in the interim, though. Afterwards, you thank the man and move onwards. You'll have to remember that version, even if it's not quite what happened. It's a good story. Wish I had some cash. Story there, and then I'll head on down to Tennessee. I guess I'm just going. It's on the other side of the river. Let's see. Who's up here by Nashville? Someone I've not met yet. That'll be easy. This is a tired city, but things are changing, locals say. For instance, the local full-size replica of the Parthenon was recently rebuilt. Huh. You mosey down that way for a look. You're standing outside a department store that emphatically had no day work available when an exasperated woman carrying a small terrier rushes onto the sidewalk. "Here, you," she says. "Won't you watch him for me? He keeps chewing the shoes, and I'll only be a minute." "I will watch the dog." "Yay!" "Thank you," she cries and heads inside again. Terrier seems perfectly content in your arms until she returns and scoops him up, leaving you with a very generous tip. "Full of money!" I am fully loaded, like Herbie. That was a Herbie fully loaded joke there, kids.
Well, I'm gonna heft my fate up upon my weary back.
Who are you?
I wanted to be the best blues singer in the world. By God, I was. I was born a poor girl in Memphis, Tennessee. No father, he run out. No mama either. She was there, but she weren't there really. All alone but for my Uncle Richard, my baby brother Marcus. All alone but for the guitar. I'm in the mood for a good, hopeful story. You got any?
I'm just looking at my options. I know I've got some good ones already, guys. Choice of morality. Freedom.
Oh, that one made me smile.
Got her.
I don't like to think about the past. When I lay down to bed now, I hear Marcus cry out to me. He's hungry, he says. When I was a girl, all I wanted was to help him. I'm in the mood for a good, hopeful story. You got any? Good to light the darkness every once in a while. You want to hear about my family? Uncle would save me bread and milk. Uncle would play his songs for me and I would clap and laugh. Uncle would press my fingers to the string, tell me, go on ahead, girl. And Uncle died. Ooh, how about a story about the dark and scary things in the world? Ooh, now, it sends shivers up my spine. Yeah, I heard stories about fate. Man, he told me with my voice and my songs, I was gonna be a star. Ooh, now I'm in the mood for a story with a bit of that tragedy to it.
A tragic story.
That's like a song, pretty and sad. Look, well, I would have done anything for my brother. Anything, you. I'm in the mood for a good, hopeful story. You got any? It's good to light the darkness every once in a while. Don't have much truck with faith. Only time I ever went to church, it was to hear that gospel choir sing. Ah, sun is up. One more night gone. I need to be going. If you want to hear more about the deal I made, you can look for me up the road this way. I was about 25 when I left my first record contract. No more richer than I was before. Those men took me around like a freak show. Me and my guitar, my sad songs. I didn't know what to do once I was free again. Alone, drinking my sorrow. That's where the devil found me.
This woman made a deal with a literal devil. I can feel it. Maybe in Georgia.
He's small for his age. Boy of 13 or so, sitting on an upturned bucket by the side of a tiny wedge of farmland. The dog, as though by contrast, is massive. An enormous yellow-brown mutt. He's called Rover, the boy explains.
Paul says he can't come with us.
To hell.
West.
Same thing.
You notice the Model A truck on the yard, piled high with furnishings and trunks and bags and knots of rope to tie it all together. And upon all that, too, yet more dust and grit.
Paul says it has to be better.
With one toe tip, he scratches a parabola on the dead, dry ground.
Paul says we can't afford to feed Rover no more.
You can't tell where the blonde of the dog's coat ends and the omnipresent dust begins. Same goes for the boy's hair.
Will you take him?
I absolutely should.
Rover follows you eagerly after you feed him the tiniest sliver of jerky. But a few hours later, he snaps to attention, as though hearing some distant noise your ears can't catch. The last you see of him are the markings left by his dirty pelt on the leaves of the underbrush.
Oh, man. I wanted a doggo.
Electric lamps stipple the cotton field before you with an orange light, moving like a group of lethargic fireflies. From the field, the voices of the workers reach you in a soulful, united song. You're gently lulled to sleep as the song floats over you. And oh, Lordy, pick a bale of cotton. And oh, Lordy, pick a bale a day. You're pulled out of your slumber by a woman's pained scream and a collection of shouts rising from the field. The woman's screams taper off, soon replaced by the raw cries of an infant. Applause briefly fills the night, eventually fading back into song. Oh, Lordy, you wake up to the gentle crescendo of the worker's song, unsure if it ever ceased at all.
I think that refilled my sleep. These folks are setting up a cooking tent in the corner of a fairground. Beyond them, bigger tents rise like clouds. You want to make some cash? The manager asks. A long, hot day serving funnel cakes and busting tables in the dining tents. But you're paid well.
He seemed off in his own little world, idly strumming and muttering along in tune. He stops and calls out to you from his perch on the sidewalk.
What's your name?
He winks.
Now watch this.
He sings Baby Won't You Please Come Home, but with your name in the lyrics. Now, he says,
if you found that meant something to you, and you want to show some of that appreciation, I sure would be obliged.
Yeah, I'm always going to tip a good musician.
I'm mighty obliged. I can see you got the flower prints in your heart.
You're about to ask what he means, but his confidential nod suggests that's the end of the conversation. You leave, feeling a little poorer in a lot of ways.
So, that current gonna take firm hold of me. That water gonna make me whole. Going down to the river, gonna cleanse my soul.
I say, you there.
Shouts the boy, sitting on the broken stairs of a sand-swept shack. His imperial affect seems at odds with his shabby clothes and sallow skin.
I shall pay you this enormous, beautiful, shining coin if you would only dance for me.
I'm not going to steal this coin from a baby.
You attempt a solo foxtrot. From the get-go, the boy is clearly unenthused. After 2 repetitions, he throws a rock at you to make you stop.
I didn't like that,
He informs you.
but I always honor my debts.
He hands you the coin, just as his mother calls him in for supper.
Sammy, I think he was good. Probably. Probably. He was probably good.
When they try to throw a wall, we gon' bury it.
I mean, even if it was a grifter, you gotta be good enough to grift.
Fine. I'll tell you about Paris.
Like, I heard the song. It didn't say it was bad, so it was probably good.
I was with the 369th Infantry Regiment. Maybe you heard of us by our other names. The Black Rattlers, the Men of Bronze, the Harlem Hellfighters. That was us.
I have heard of the Harlem Hellfighters. They were like a really good basketball team. That was a joke.
Fight because we thought it might show white folk that we were Americans too. What a joke. The Army wouldn't even lead us. Gave us to the French. Not the first time America traded black bodies, I suppose. Lately, my journey's been pretty ordinary. Just walking, church to church. What about you? Been on any adventure?
A thrilling story. That might do it.
Sorry, that kind of thing don't scare me anymore, if that's what you're going for.
Oh, that was a scary story. Okay.
The past's still with me. Certain things I remember too well. Gave us religious men 10 days of training. This is time you wear the mask when the gas hits. Only thing is, they ain't have enough masks to go around when we got friends. You must have seen some pretty wild stuff on the road. What's the most exciting thing you've seen?
Exciting. Probably Casey Jones. He's a fast railroad boy.
I swear I ain't heard a story good as that in a long minute. Travel? Only good thing about that war was the men I traveled with. Bearcats, all fire and heart. If I can imagine a better world, it's cause I've seen what the best of us can do. Lately, my journey's been pretty ordinary. Just walking, church to church. What about you? Been on any adventures?
Is Casey Jones a story that I have just missed? Like a well-known story that I just didn't ever pick up in my life? A thrilling story. That's what I'm asking. It's a sad one. Jimmy already knows the story of Jimmy's parable. Believe it or not. Okay, where is Dupree?
You've got a pretty wild life. You know that? Luck? No. I've said it so many times. Ain't no luck. Just the will of the Lord on earth. Sometimes I wonder, though, when he is so arbitrary in his application of justice and love, how different is he than the dice? You must have seen some pretty wild stuff on the road. What's the most exciting thing you've seen?
Okay, I'm going to read this because it didn't all fit into the little chat window that I've got. Born John Luther Jones on March 14th in 1864 in Missouri, Casey Jones is an American folk hero who was an engineer during the heyday of the American Railroad. He is best known for his courage, sacrificing his life by keeping one hand on the brake to slow the train and one hand on the whistle to warn others who might be near the train, as well as his tenacity for keeping trains on schedule and his famous whippoorwill whistle. He died in 1900 in Vaughn, Mississippi, when he collided with another train. A ballad written by Wallace Saunders entitled The Ballad of Casey Jones made Jones a permanent figure in American folklore. Thank you, Sammy. Another thrilling story.
You've got a pretty wild life. You know that? The future? People ask me all the time if I'm a prophet or some such, since my predictions are so often correct.
If it's a Grateful Dead song, I might have even heard it, and just don't. It's not ringing until I hear it again.
What comes next? Blood. Always blood. Just gotta pay attention to see that. Anyway, why don't you tell me a scary story? You must have heard some good ones. Oh, you could rattle a congregation's bones, I bet. You know, I saw a lot of death in France. Friends and enemies both.
Speaking of links in the Discord, if you're watching and aren't already in there, get in the Discord. There we go. I thank you. Normally I would do that, but I can't actually click out of the app because of the way it is. And I don't have a shortcut on my Stream Deck yet. I need to do that also. I had a shortcut for Shuckle, though.
But none of it matters as much as seeing Pops die in the rain when I got back. Here comes the sun. Sorry, friend, but I gotta go. The next sermon takes me this way.
Didn't quite get to the end, it looks like.
If you head out there, look for me, all right? I like our talk.
They keep on going behind me.
And be careful out there, all right? The world's a cruel place, and men who live in it are cruel. And the Lord ain't stingy with the suffering.
Sammy, you are a mod. But also, like, we don't pay you, so, like, don't feel obligated to do anything, absolutely anything more than what you feel like at any given moment. We appreciate your participation. And like just being active in chat makes us more likely to be advertised to other people. Did you know that Twitch channels, if they have active chat rooms, will be like higher on the recommended channels list? After gossiping for a while about the weather and the crops and the state of the world, all bad and getting worse, he takes a different tack. You look like someone who likes a good story, he wheezes. Try this one on for size. After loudly and repeatedly clearing his throat, he tells you the story of the pig farmers haunted by Meemaw. It sounds a lot like the story of the family of pig farmers, but with some parts changed and other parts added. When he grins up at you at the conclusion of the tale, you give him the effusive praise he's apparently expecting. You'll have to remember that version, even if it's not quite what happened. It's a good story. These pig farmers were haunted by Meemaw. Oh, don't ever feel bad about dominating chat. My favorite part about streaming is when there's somebody to talk to. So. I believe you just automatically tell the most outrageous version of the story.
You walk along the tracks for an hour, toward the smell of the coal baking in the sun. The train is idling at the station, sputtering, exhausted. A child paces up and down the line of black carriages, clutching a bundle of rags to her chest. She cranes her neck, figuring the height of the cars.
Oh, I see. Because they get locked off once you've told them to one of the 12. I don't know. I think it stays locked. I was actually wondering that a little bit. I'm wondering if there's like different levels of story, and if it gets a big jump or becomes very different, maybe like if the story levels up, maybe you can tell it again. But to my knowledge, I've definitely told stories that have changed a little bit and they still remain blocked off. So. I haven't worked out the purpose of the changing stories yet. So I think we're going to say hello to this little girl. Although both of these have a...
You've scared her half to death. She stares, absolutely petrified as you approach.
It was an accident,
She whispers. All you can see in the heap of blankets she carries in her arms is the infant's tiny leg, pale and blue.
That's rough. So we got this man I don't know. Okay. Sammy.
Well, I'm gonna scroll my name on the bare bones of the earth. I'm gonna dig my heels into the ground. 'Cause when that ferryman comes for the tide,
Well, don't look at the most recent comments.
I won't leave much to find that can be found.
Fuck.
I'll take a look at you. Figure we're heading to the same place. You've been walking a long time, same as me, trying to find where you fit. You ever wonder if that place don't exist? No shame in it, I do. Plenty of time I wonder if I just walk forever. You start to wonder, how did I get here? When you're alone, all you have is all this time. Time to trace the lines back to where things started. But anyway, now I feel like hearing a hopeful story. Got any of those?
I got my favorite hopeful story right here.
Good to hear a story that's more happy than the world really is. Nice to escape. I think about the past sometimes. I never wanted nothing but to be a farmer, to do honest work, get an honest wage. I ain't never gonna be a farmer now. Not much used to think about it. So, tell me a sad story. Sad and true, okay? I hear you. Family. The Sharecroppers Union told me they were like a family. You ever get in a firefight for your brothers and sisters? But anyway, you know any good true tragedies? I feel like one of those tonight. Body and soul. Well, as far as love stories, I mostly love work. Working the land felt natural, felt good. It was the work itself, the labor, the sweat, and knowing that I could point at it and say, that's mine. So, tell me a sad story. Sad and true, okay? Body and soul. There's some sadness out there. Things get took from you. You realize that things get took from you. You ain't never owned them in the first place. That's a dark place. You got any good happy stories where things work out for someone, maybe?
I think I might be able to get you one of them's. One of them's good stories. Kitties!
I guess we all got a different sense of humor.
He wanted a joke.
A story about happy people. Something that's mine. Isn't that what a man always wants? Home, you might call it. 40 acres and a mule. Here's the sun. I got to get going. My route goes up this way, but I sure did enjoy talking to you. It's probably the kind of story you've heard a million times. Down on your luck, need work, take whatever you can get. How about you? Does my life sound familiar?
Okay, I'm gonna go southeast, cross the road, and try to get to Lady. We're going a lot faster now that we've kind of got a lot of stories. You notice that? I was starting to worry that we would be playing this game for like a year. After gossiping for a while about the weather and the crops and the state of the world, all bad, getting worse, he takes a different tack. You look like someone who likes a good story, he wheezes. Try this one on for size. After loudly and repeatedly clearing his throat, he tells you the story of a witch girl and her kitten familiars. Sounds a lot like the story of the girl with a basket of kittens, but with some parts changed and other parts added. When he grins up at you at the conclusion of the tale, you give him the effusive praise he's apparently expecting. You'll have to remember that version, even if it's not quite what happened. It's a good story.
not gonna cast my stones o'er the waters of this land. And by I'll see them far
There's a story like right there. It's probably right on the other side of that mountain.
come down for to take me hand in hand. This will be my
The witch girl and her pet kitty, bed.
yeah, this will be my tale. My
Vagrant song.
You glance up, and the sky is suddenly filled with monarchs.
I love this
Billions of
portrait.
them rising out of the fields and streaming across the road. You sit in the shade to watch them, and before you know it, the tree above you has a new coat of whispering orange leaves. They're resting, like you, gathering their strength for the next leg of the journey.
I love that story. And I have a new hopeful story.
Back again? Well, look at you. Same as you was. And I'm the same as I was. Still nursing this lick I took. These couple licks. Oh, don't look at me like that. I'm a grown girl and this ain't the first time it's happened. Let's talk and drink and maybe play a little cards. Got any stories with ghosts or murderers or blood or something like that?
Oh, she wants the spooks. I think the bear that eats the rich is supposed to be a scary story. We'll see. It's spooky time!
Keep that for the dime novels, honey. I don't read that stuff.
Ow.
Oh, this? Oh, I'm sorry. It's nothing. I guess it's been 7 nights now. Still hurts. Sometimes I shift my ribs and I think I feel something move wrong. It'll heal by itself. Got any stories with ghosts or murderers or blood or something?
Apparently this was a scary story for somebody else, right?
God damn, you're giving me the chills, sweetheart.
Yes. See, I always saw like the streak in the sky that's an inhuman color. That always felt like hopeful or beautiful or something to me. But somebody else was like, "Ah, you're not scaring me with that shit."
To be self-sufficient. To be indulged that once, you know? I've been thinking about this one pinko that came by the creek recently. He said that an uneven life was manufactured. That it didn't always have to be peaks and troughs. That evening it out was a way it could be. I think about that for a long time. Is it best to be in a slow-moving river all the time and never have your heart in your mouth at the rapids? Hey, got any exciting stories? Like the movies?
Like the movies. Was the cops arming to take on the strike? Is that thrilling? Of the options, I don't think I've seen something else that it would fit in. Was Casey Jones thrilling? Yeah, he was.
Honey, thrills is the stuff I live on. That one will keep me going. You walk by one place and suddenly you got a jarring feeling of deja vu. That feeling like you've been in circles but no one remembers you or knows you're there. That's what life feels like. Like walking in circles like roulette. And sometimes it's your number and most of the time it ain't, and you gotta store that energy, I learned. Store it for when you win. Hey, got any exciting stories? Like the movies?
Like the movies.
Well, well, they should let you make the movies, honey. Feelings are a sort of prison, ain't they? Sometimes I look at you and find myself liking you. But I don't trust you, sweetheart, and there's the game between us. The game is always between us, pushing us away from each other, this big checkers board. If I wanted you, I could never tell you. That's the way the game works. Got any stories with ghosts or murderers or blood or something like that?
Blood.
Keep that for the dime novels, honey. I don't read that stuff. Freedom's a trap. The more they tell you you have it, the more they've taken it away. The more you try to move toward it, the more your legs get deeper into the web. I left jail one morning and the jailer said a sweet goodbye. And I walk out into the town square and a man spit on me for looking like I weren't dressed for outside. All this heavy stuff, it's nice to have someone to pay attention. Soothe my bruises, let the dice speak. You want to play a few cards with me before you move on? Of course you do. Let's play slow for a while and you tell me a tale?
Well, I'm gonna scroll my name on the bare bones of the earth. I'm gonna dig my heels into the ground. 'Cause when that ferryman comes for to tally up my worth, I won't leave much to find that can be found. I'm gonna heft my spade upon my weary back. I'm gonna keep lacerates tucked in my soul. 'Cause when my coals burn low, when my trains run out of track, won't be no one else to dig.
Not met him yet.
Well, I got no companion except the wind and the sea.
I'm just gonna wander for the last little bit of stream here.
I'm cold and empty. They're the ones who'll bury me. Well, I'm gonna cast.
There are people shouting and laughing inside this restaurant, and a man sitting alone on the porch like a statue. When you sit beside him, he gives you a weak grin. Look at us. Tired? Oh, I get so tired. Can't even celebrate a job done. WPA, planting trees. He tells you about the hours he spends digging holes in the sun. Collapse has been hard on folks. I didn't have a job before all this. Now I'm doing good. Kind of glad things went to shit. He hesitates. Is that wrong, do you think?
Is he doing good like that he's doing well, or is he doing good in that he is doing good things? Because if he's doing good things in the face of adversity, then that's not at all bad. But if he's doing well because of others suffering, that is maybe a little wrong. Planting trees is good. I'm going to say not at all.
His head sinks onto his chest. Never sure, though, he says. Never completely sure. Then he glances up, forces a smile. In awkward apology, he makes you a gift of half his sandwich. Jesus, I'm really pulling down the mood, he stammers.
What's the WPA? Wildlife Protection Agency? I'm going out west. I do believe.
Well, I'm gonna heft my spade up upon my weary back. I'm gonna keep lacerates tucked in my soul. 'Cause when my coals burn low and my trains run out of track, won't be no one else to dig my hole.
An Evolve story, I'm going to get a new one. This bar is crowded with people from every walk of life. Businessmen, young men in muddy overalls, and a crowd of girls in slinky dresses, preparing their blood alcohol content for a night on the town. But it's the squat, sharp-eyed man in the fedora who catches your attention. He launches into a wild story about the legend of Casey Jones. Halfway through, he stops, recognizing the look on your face. You know this one? You tell him the story about Casey Jones, the fastest railroader in America. That's it? I think I like mine more. So that's why I'll keep telling it my way, he says. Let's get another round. Do a competitive test. Maybe other people like his version.
When the night comes down for to take me hand in hand, this
You give the seated man a cursory nod as you pass, which he mistakes for interest.
Wondering where you've seen me before?
He beams.
How about on the roundabout roads and twisting trails of America the Beautiful? Yes, I'm Walking Willis.
What you talking about, Willis?
It's Walking Willis. Funny, most folks know old Walking Willis. I've been walking across this great country back and forth for years now. You see, I ain't got a home. Walking's all I do. I'm always walking.
Is he us? Like, is he pretending to be us?
Well, no. Right now, I'm just resting a minute. Resting my dogs. Ain't Walking Willis allowed to rest his dogs for a minute?
Let a man rest his dogs.
That's right. That's right.
He lowers the brim of his hat and goes to sleep.
Well, I'm gonna scroll my name on bare bones of the earth. I'm gonna dig.
All right, guys. Thank you for attending Gamer Church on this beautiful Sunday night. We got Nathan's Mono Shiny Pokemon run tomorrow night, 7 Central. And then on Friday, we've got probably some more Hunting Monster. And then, of course, Sunday, we're doing my Pokemon Coliseum, which got rudely interrupted by a power outage today. And we've got Gamer Church next Sunday. So that's what we got coming up on the way. Bye.